Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving into an exciting project. I've built a mini Amazon-style front-end for an online course marketplace using React. We've got a search bar, category and price filters, recommended categories, and a clean product card layout to display courses. I'm going to walk you through every single component step by step, explaining every line of code in detail. Whether you're new to React or a seasoned developer, there's something here for you. First, let's start from our data.js file. This file exports an array of course objects. Each course has properties like img, for the course image, title, star, a star icon for ratings, reviews, prev price, new price, company, and category. We'll use this data to display courses in our app. Notice that star uses a React icon component, AI_fill_star. This will render a star icon in our UI. Now let's build the card component, which will display each course in a nice card format. This component is the building block for displaying our courses in the UI. First, we import the bs_fill_bag_fill icon from React icons/bs. This is the shopping bag icon we'll use in the card. The card component takes several props, img, title, star, reviews, prev price, and new price. These props come from our data and will populate the card. In the JSX, we start with a section element with the class card. This is our main container. Inside, we have an img tag that uses the img prop as the source and the title prop as the alt text. Then we have a div with the class card details to hold the course info. Inside card details, we have an h3 for the course title, which displays the title prop. Then there's a section with the class card reviews. Here we render the star prop 4 times to show a rating. We could make this dynamic later, followed by a span that displays the reviews prop, like 123 reviews. Finally, we have a section with the class card price. Inside, there's a div with the class price that shows the prev price inside a del tag, for the strike-through effect, and the new price next to it. Then there's a div with the class bag that contains our bs_fill_bag_fill icon, styled with the class bag icon. This component is simple but gives us a clean way to display each course. Next, let's look at smaller component that we'll use for filtering, input. This component is a reusable radio input for our filters. It takes props like handle change, a function to handle changes, value, the value of the radio button, title, the label text, name, to group radio buttons, and color, for styling the checkmark. The JSX creates a label with a radio input that triggers handle change when selected. There's a span for a custom checkmark, styled with the color prop, and then the title is displayed as the label text. Now let's look at the button component. This component is a simple button for filtering by recommended categories. It takes onClickHandler, a function to handle clicks, value, the category to filter by, and title, the button text. We define a handleClick function that calls onClickHandler with the value prop when the button is clicked. The JSX renders a button with the class button, an onClick event that triggers handleClick, and the title as the button text. Now let's use the input component to build our category component, which is a part of the sidebar. This component renders a list of radio buttons for filtering by category. It takes a handle change prop, which is a function passed from the parent to update the selected category. We start with an h2 for the title category. Then we have a div containing a radio button for all, with an empty value to clear the filter, followed by several input components for categories like web development, data science, etc. Each input passes the handle change function, a value, a title, and a name, set to test to group the radio buttons. The price component is similar. This works the same way but for price ranges. It takes a handle change prop to handle price range changes and renders radio buttons for different ranges like 0 to 50, 50, 100, etc. The all option clears the price filter. Now let's combine category and price into the sidebar component. This component ties together our filters. It takes two props, handle change, for category changes, and handle price change, for price range changes. We use the useState hook to manage a local state price range, initialized as an empty string. The handle price range change function updates the price range state and calls the handle price change prop with the selected price range. In the JSX, we render a section with the class sidebar. Inside, there's a div for the logo, just a shopping cart emoji for now, followed by a div containing the category and price components. We pass the handle change prop to category and the handle price range change function to price. Let's move to the nav component, which handles the search bar. This component takes handle input change, a function to update the search query, and query, the current search value. It renders a nav element with a search input and some icons. The input has the class search input, a type of text, an onChange event that triggers handle input change, a value set to query, and a placeholder. The profile container div contains three icons, heart, cart, and user, as placeholders for future functionality. Now let's look at the recommended component, which uses our button component to filter by recommended categories. This component takes a handle click prop to handle button clicks. It renders an h2 with the title, recommended, followed by a div with the class recommended flex containing several button components. Each button has an on-click handler that calls handle click with the category value, a value for the category, and a title for the button text. For example, clicking the Web Development button will filter the courses to show only those in that category. The products component is simple, it just renders the filtered courses using our card component. This component takes a result prop, which is an array of card components, will generate this in app.js. It renders a section with the class card container and displays the result inside. That's it for this component, it's just a container for our cards. Finally, let's bring everything together in the app component. This is where all the magic happens, filtering, state management, and rendering. Inside the app component, we define three pieces of state. Selected category, initially null, to track the selected category filter. Query, initially an empty string, to track the search input. Selected price range, initially null, to track the selected price range. Handle input change, this function updates the query state with the value of the search input. It takes an event, and we call setQuery with event.target.value. Handle change, this handles category filter changes. It updates selected category with the selected value and clears selected price range to avoid conflicts. Handle price change, this handles price range changes. It updates selected price range, clears selected category, and clears the query. Handle recommended click, this handles clicks on recommended category buttons. If the value is all, it sets selected category to null, to clear the filter, otherwise, it sets it to the selected category. It also clears selected price range and query. The filter data function is where we filter our courses based on the search query, category, and price range. It takes products, our data, selected category, query, and selected price range as arguments. We start by creating a filtered products variable and setting it to the products array. If query exists, i.e., the user has typed something, we filter filtered products using the filter method. For each product, we convert its title to lowercase and check if it contains the query, also lowercase. The index of method returns -1 if the query isn't found, so we keep products where it's not -1. If selected category exists, we filter filtered products again. For each product, we check if its category matches the selected category. If it does, we keep it. If selected price range exists, e.g., 50 to 100, we split it into min price and max price. Then we filter filtered products by checking if the new price, after slicing off the $2 and converting to a float, is between min price and max price. Finally, we map the filtered products to card components, passing the necessary props, img, title, etc. The map function takes each product object from filtered products and destructures it to extract img, title, star, reviews, prev price, and new price. For each product, we return a card component, passing these values as props so the card can display the course details. We use math.random as the key prop for simplicity to help React identify each card uniquely during rendering, though in a real app, we'd use a unique ID like the product's ID to avoid potential issues with re-renders. After mapping, we store the result in the result variable by calling filtered data with our data, selected category, query, and selected price range. In the JSX, we render the sidebar, navigation, recommended, and products components, passing the appropriate props to each. For example, we pass the result, our array of card components, to the products component, which will display all the filtered cards in a nice layout. And there you have it. We've built a fully functional mini Amazon front-end for an online course marketplace using React. We covered every component, from the card for displaying courses to the sidebar for filtering, and tied it all together in app.js with filtering logic. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more tutorials, and let me know in the comments what you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.